This time, we'd like to have Francis come up and give some closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I don't know whether or not I should take this off. I feel so fancy with it.
Feel fancy.
I would first of all like to thank all of you in attendance for coming out to support us in this journey that we're on. It means a lot to us. It's success experienced in a vacuum with no one there to share it with loses the very meaning that causes us to experience joy in that success. And so thank you for coming out to share this experience with us. To the incoming scholars, I say congratulations and welcome. To the continuing scholars, I say keep up the great work. And to the graduating scholars, I say you will have to wait until the end of my reflection to get your spiel. I would also like to take a moment and thank Retta Seymour for her relentless dedication to the McNair Scholars Program and consequently us, its students, for the better part of 13 years now. We're so blessed to have such a dedicated and fearless leader whose sense of compassion, kindness, and understanding are only matched by her uncanny ability to inject you with a fresh dose of reality when needed. No, she calls it as it is. She calls it as it is and leaves the sugar coating to the bakers. Because as she might say, that frankly ain't her job. But no, I want to say thank you to Retta, who will be pivotal to your success, incoming scholars, as she continues to be in ours. I remember the first day of McNair Orientation Week, walking into that room on the 7th floor of Morris Library Building and seeing all those bright and eager faces, the same bright and eager faces that I see here today. I remember in the weeks that followed as the ice of stranger indifference, nervousness, unfamiliarity began to thaw, it gave way to the all too familiar warmth of friendship and love. That friendship and love was further solidified in the crucible of the Summer Research Institute, which not only brought us together, but also challenged us individually in ways that we seldom would have ever imagined possible. Now, at the beginning of the Summer Research Institute, scholars have to participate in a high ropes course, as you saw, which is meant as a punishment. I mean, a team building exercise. Yeah, no, I did ask Retta why she has us do this at the beginning of the Summer Research Institute, but having gone through it myself, I now realize that it goes beyond teaching just team building to teaching other crucial lessons that are pivotal to one's success as a McNair scholar. One thing that well, spoiler alert, first of all, let me explain what it was. What this ziplining experience is, and high ropes course, is a high grade military high ropes course that ends with you ziplining Rambo style halfway across some jungle somewhere that is meant to break you mind, body, and soul, really. That's what it is. Yeah. No, I might be overselling it just a little bit. I can see the new scholar's eyes just widen like, what did I get myself into? Maybe if I don't maintain eye contact and slowly back away from the auditorium, they'll never notice me missing. No, I'm overselling it just a little bit. What it actually is a set of 11 obstacle courses that are set some 30 to 40 feet up in the air, which are suspended in between telephone poles, which are securely anchored to the ground. That didn't make it any better, did it? No, it's a seemingly trivial ropes course that does end with you ziplining 100 yards across tree lines on a 30-foot tall zip line. Now, at this juncture, I want to make something extremely clear. I personally do not like height. I take that back. I hate heights. I know a lot of people are like, oh, hate is such a strong word, but I hate heights. I don't think that as a human species we were meant to be dangling up in the air like a bunch of crazy people. If that was the case somewhere in between our evolutionary process, somewhere in between Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon man, we would have grown a set of wings. We would have turned into pigeons, really. But seeing as to how that's not the case, I don't think we're supposed to be dangling up there. Anyway, I personally hate heights, and so after the experience, I remember having nightmares of me just free falling and zip line across the crowns of trees. It was horrible. But what was funny though, in that salient moment of zip line induced PTSD was that the same scream, the high-pitched scream that I had during the actual experience, somehow followed me into my dreams. I thought because it was my dream, I would somehow own the experience Rambo style, but I guess my mind in maintaining consistency with reality turned me into Will Ferrell instead of Sylvester Stallone. But I think that this experience at the beginning of the Summer Research Institute is appropriate because it encapsulates the entire McNair experience in one afternoon. To begin with, one is not mentally and or physically prepared for what is to come. One thing you're assured of is that there are experts who have gone before you, who have taken every measure to ensure your safety and success. But beyond that, it was on you. You were shown the way, but you had to walk it and or climb it alone. One thing you can rest assured is that at the end of every challenge, there you would find your guides waiting for you, ready to usher you into the next seemingly more difficult one. You all began at the same point, but many of us took different paths to what converged to a similar finishing point. It didn't matter whether you finished first or you finished last. All that mattered was that you finished. Throughout the process, many of us learned new things about ourselves. I, for one, learned that I had new high falsetto notes in my vocal range that I didn't know existed. Where others, such as Nate, who's not here today, just, gallantly rambled through the entire thing. Like it was absolutely nothing, making the rest of us look great. Like it was a great experience. But what I can say is, it didn't matter whether you finished first or last. All that mattered was that we finished. So whether or not, I sounded like Mozart's The Queen of the Night aria, or you gallantly rambled through the entire thing, we nevertheless finished. And a big part of this finishing was predicated on the support that we had within our cohort. I vividly remember getting halfway through the first course and wanting to give up and turn back. And just then, hearing Yasmin's voice shouting from the corner of my ear, "Come on, Francis, you can do it!" And I didn't look down, so I didn't know whether or not she was doing this motion, but I just assumed she was. But that not only gave me the courage and the impetus to be able to finish that course, but it also did something else. It sparked a wave of encouragement from everyone to each other. We had began to work as a team. It's this team effort built on shared experiences that will not only bring your cohort together, incoming scholars, but will help you go through some of those difficult times. Not to mention, the support and assurance that you will receive from those guides waiting for you at the end of every challenge, at the end of every significant step. These are your family, your friends, your mentors, your McNair staff, Retta. The actual research experience, much like this obstacle course, can seem impossible at first, especially to us mere mortals who love Doritos and comfort. But it's achievable through unrelenting hard work and a constant dedication to face down all the unknowns that cause you to feel uncomfortable until you've mastered each and every last one of them. So my admonition to you, incoming, continuing, and graduating McNair scholars, is never close your eyes in the midst of an overwhelming storm. Never let go of the steering wheel and just recede into a safe place in the back seat where you just leave it all up to the fates. No, I encourage you, open your eyes. Despite feelings of overwhelming helplessness, it's okay to fail, as long as you're failing in the process of growth. So let it not be that you failed to try, but that you tried and that you failed. Because it's in this latter failure, this commitment to stare down a storm that you very well know will overpower you, but still choosing to tenaciously hold on, that you not only experience exponential growth, but also a special kind of grace, only to be found therein by those who dedicate their lives to living on the fringes of their own assumed capabilities. One thing that I can promise you throughout this process is you will not be the same person who came in. It will change how you view things. It will change how you approach everything in your life and academia. But it will also open up an infinite pool of possibilities for you moving forward. For me, the McNair Scholars Program not only extended my knowledge of research within my field of study, but it also offered me opportunities that, had I not been a McNair Scholar, I probably might have not known existed. You see, I came into the program with an end goal in mind, but no clear path as to how to get there. But through the McNair program's vast reach and Greta's intuitive directive, I was able to apply to programs, internships, fellowships, among which was my future program of choice. I remember it was 6 months of aiming high and applying to those dream schools because I was encouraged to believe in myself. But it was also 6 months of meetings and reality checks, that dose of reality I was talking about. And applying to those mid-range schools, strong mid-range schools, because sometimes that's just how the cards fall. And after that came the agonizing wait. You know, just sitting there, struggling with the fear of rejection and doubting yourself. And after, when the wait is done, it doesn't always get easier. You know, for some, it might mean a lot of good news. For others, like myself, it may also mean many rejections and even some wait lists. But I can stand here today and say, because of the opportunities and experiences that I got from the McNair Scholars Program, I'll be leaving in a few months to go to LA to pursue my doctorate in political science at USC. And so, what I would want to encourage the incoming and continuing scholars is take those extra opportunities when they're given to you, because they really do make the difference. They really do. You might not have a clear sense of direction as to where your road should lead, but don't be afraid to step out and try. Don't be afraid to take aim in the dark and fire, even if you do not know what's the target. As a wise man once said, sow your seed upon many waters, for you do not know which one will grow. And so, one thing that I can say I surely learned through that arduous process was you should never, ever compromise. You should never, ever be afraid to be yourself, even if, and especially when, that means rejection. Because it is in that decision that you take the ultimate courageous step, and that is accepting yourself regardless of the outcome. Therefore, to the incoming scholars, I say congratulations, strap up, and get ready for a fun, exciting, and challenging ride. To the continuing scholars, I say, you're awesome. I will miss you. Do not lose your fire, do not lose your drive. To the parents and supporters of all who sit here today taking this journey, I say thank you. Keep up your support, for your investment will surely reap a sure reward. And to the graduating McNair scholars, we are here. We made it. And we did it with style. Like those who have gone before us and those who have will come after us, we realize that we are moving to a higher, harder, and even more rewarding obstacle course. And so, like in that summer of 2018, when you feel like giving up your obstacle course, just remember, a fellow McNair is there, just a phone call away to help you get through it one more time. Thank you.